If you are over the age of 60, I need you to hear this carefully. Something as simple and ordinary as a piece of fruit could be quietly raising your risk of stroke while you sleep. No warning, no pain. You go to bed feeling fine and then wake up unable to speak, to stand, or to move one side of your body. As a physician who has spent decades caring for older adults, I've seen this exact situation unfold far too many times. And here's the surprising part: it wasn't because of smoking, fast food, or bad habits. In many cases, it was fruit. The same fruit you've trusted for years as part of a healthy diet. Now, of course, fruit is not the enemy. But after the age of 60, your body changes. Your kidneys filter more slowly, your liver processes medications differently, your blood vessels become more fragile, and your brain becomes more sensitive to sugar, potassium, and acid. Add in nighttime dehydration or common prescriptions for blood pressure, cholesterol, or circulation, and suddenly, something that once kept you healthy can quietly turn against you. That's why in today's video, I want to walk you through the 6 common fruits that may pose hidden dangers when eaten at the wrong time, in the wrong amount, or in combination with certain medications. These are not exotic foods. They are the bananas, grapes, pineapples, watermelons, oranges, and mangoes you likely have in your kitchen right now. Each one carries unique risks that seniors need to understand. And because I don't just want to warn you but to empower you, I'll also share a special bonus tip, a simple timing strategy that can help you continue enjoying fruit safely while protecting your brain and your heart. If you find this information valuable, I encourage you to subscribe to Thrive After 65 and leave a comment below with the word AWARE. That single action tells us you are committed to protecting your independence and vitality for years to come. Now, let's begin. And we'll start with the fruit that most of us have loved since childhood: bananas. Bananas. They look so harmless, don't they? Soft, sweet, and comforting, something most of us have enjoyed since childhood. For seniors, they seem like the perfect snack, easy to chew, packed with nutrients, and gentle on the stomach. But after the age of 60, especially when bananas are overripe, they may not be as innocent as they appear. Here's the science behind it. As bananas ripen, their starches break down into simple sugars. That's why a ripe banana tastes sweeter than a green one. The problem is that this change also pushes the fruit's glycemic index higher, which means it causes your blood sugar to spike more quickly. For a younger body, that may not be an issue. But after 60, your insulin sensitivity has weakened, your kidneys filter potassium less effectively, and your blood vessels have become stiffer. This combination can create what I call the silent storm. An overripe banana, eaten on an empty stomach, can send blood sugar soaring, push blood pressure higher, and overload your heart rhythm with potassium, all while you think you're making a healthy choice. Let me share a real example. Margaret, a 76-year-old retired librarian from Illinois, loved bananas. She had 1 or 2 every morning, often blended into her breakfast smoothie. She thought it was the perfect, natural way to start her day. But one morning, she woke up feeling dizzy, and her speech was slurred. Her husband rushed her to the hospital, where doctors diagnosed her with a mild ischemic stroke. Her labs showed a sudden spike in blood pressure and elevated potassium. The doctors explained that while bananas weren't the only factor, the combination of overripe fruit, morning dehydration, and her slower metabolism had created the perfect storm. Margaret made one simple change. She switched to eating smaller, slightly greener bananas, and always paired them with a glass of water and a little protein first. Within weeks, her energy improved and her blood pressure stabilized. The lesson here is simple. Bananas are not the enemy. But overripe bananas, eaten in large amounts or on an empty stomach, can quietly become risky for seniors. Choose greener ones, eat smaller portions, and always pair them with water or protein to keep your brain and heart safe. Grapes seem almost too small to cause harm. They're sweet, refreshing, and easy to grab by the handful, something many older adults enjoy with lunch, tossed into salads, or shared with grandchildren. But for seniors, grapes can be deceptively risky, especially when eaten in large amounts or at the wrong time of day. Here's the science. Grapes are essentially small sugar bombs. Even the seedless varieties commonly sold in grocery stores are packed with glucose and fructose. When you eat a large serving, especially on an empty stomach, that sugar is rapidly absorbed into your bloodstream. For a younger person, the body's insulin response can handle this surge. But after 60, insulin sensitivity weakens, blood vessels become more fragile, and circulation slows down. What does this mean? That sudden sugar spike puts stress on delicate blood vessels in the brain and heart. Over time, repeated spikes cause microscopic inflammation and tiny clots. You don't feel them at first. But one day, those small risks add up to a major event, a transient ischemic attack, or worse, a stroke. Take the story of Evelyn, a 9-year-old retired music teacher from Colorado. She loved her routine, a mid-morning bowl of red grapes while reading or writing cards for her family. Some days, she ate 2 cups without thinking. One morning, as she was writing a birthday card, her hand began trembling, and she suddenly forgot how to spell a simple word. Her daughter rushed her to the ER, where doctors diagnosed a transient ischemic attack. Tests revealed high blood sugar, low-grade inflammation, and early pre-diabetic markers, conditions she never suspected. The culprit wasn't just age, but her daily habit of overindulging in grapes. The solution isn't to avoid grapes altogether. They can still be enjoyed, but in moderation and with balance. Seniors should never eat grapes on an empty stomach and never by the bowl. Instead, enjoy a small handful and pair them with protein or fat like a few almonds or a slice of cheese to slow down sugar absorption. And most importantly, avoid eating grapes at night when your body needs stable blood flow during sleep, not sudden sugar surges. Pineapple feels like a tropical treat, bright, juicy, and refreshing. Many seniors enjoy a few slices after dinner as a healthy dessert. But while pineapple has benefits in small amounts, for those over 60, eating it at the wrong time can quietly create a dangerous combination for the brain and heart. Here's why. Pineapple contains a natural enzyme called bromelain. In low doses, bromelain can support digestion. But in higher amounts, or when combined with blood-thinning medications such as warfarin or aspirin, it can interfere with your body's ability to clot. That means a simple serving of pineapple could increase your risk of excessive bleeding or, more dangerously, a hemorrhagic stroke. On top of that, pineapple is high in sugar and has a high glycemic index, meaning it can flood your bloodstream with sugar quickly. This is especially risky in the evening, when your metabolism slows and your body is not burning much energy. Instead of fueling your cells, that sugar lingers, straining blood vessels overnight. And then there's the acid. Pineapple is one of the most acidic fruits in the grocery store. Many older adults don't feel classic heartburn, but silent reflux can still occur during sleep. That means small amounts of stomach acid can creep into the airway, lowering oxygen levels to the brain. Studies have linked these nighttime oxygen dips to early morning strokes, the most dangerous kind. Consider the story of Clara, a 7-year-old retired choir director from North Carolina. She thought she was making a smart choice by skipping cakes and cookies and eating pineapple after dinner instead. But one morning, she woke up dizzy and struggled to walk straight. At the hospital, doctors found she had suffered a small posterior stroke, affecting her balance and memory. Her labs showed elevated blood sugar, platelet changes linked to bromelain, and signs of reflux-induced oxygen drops during sleep. The pineapple wasn't the only factor, but it had helped create the perfect storm. The takeaway? Pineapple is not off limits, but timing and moderation are everything. Eat it earlier in the day, keep portions small, and avoid combining it with blood thinners unless your doctor approves. And most importantly, never eat pineapple before bed. Your brain needs calm, steady blood flow at night, not surprises. Watermelon is often seen as the perfect summer fruit, light, juicy, and made up of nearly 90% water. For decades, people have believed it's the ultimate way to stay hydrated. But for seniors over 60, watermelon can quietly do the opposite, especially if eaten at the wrong time of day. Here's what many don't realize. Watermelon acts like a natural diuretic. That means it encourages your body to urinate more, which sounds harmless until you remember that many older adults are already taking water pills or blood pressure medications that also remove fluid. Combine the two, and you may tip your body into hidden dehydration. Why is this dangerous? When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, almost like syrup. Thicker blood moves more slowly through aging arteries, which increases the risk of clot formation. At night, when blood pressure naturally dips and circulation slows, that thicker blood can create the perfect conditions for a clot to form and trigger a silent stroke. Take the story of Howard, an 82-year-old retired postal worker from Indiana. Howard was proud of his healthy habits. He walked every day, avoided sweets, and thought he was doing everything right. One of his favorite routines was eating 2 or 3 large slices of watermelon after dinner to cool down and stay hydrated. But one morning, he woke up dizzy and collapsed when he tried to stand. At the hospital, doctors found dangerously low blood pressure, signs of dehydration, and thickened blood flow. A scan revealed a small ischemic stroke likely caused by a clot that formed overnight. The very fruit he believed was helping him had instead tipped his body out of balance. The lesson is clear: watermelon isn't bad, but timing and balance matter. Seniors should enjoy watermelon earlier in the day when the body is active and better able to regulate fluids. Avoid eating it late at night, especially if you're on diuretics or blood pressure medications. If you do eat it, pair it with electrolytes like a pinch of salt or a sip of coconut water to help your body retain hydration. And pay attention to early warning signs: morning dizziness, dry mouth, or difficulty balancing. These are your body's whispers that it needs a change. Oranges have long been seen as the symbol of health, packed with vitamin C, refreshing, and often the centerpiece of a healthy breakfast. A glass of orange juice in the morning feels like sunshine in a cup. But for seniors over 60, oranges, and especially orange juice, can hide a danger that has nothing to do with vitamin C. The real issue isn't just sugar, though orange juice can raise blood sugar quickly. The deeper concern lies in a natural compound called furanocoumarins, found in citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, and even Seville oranges. These compounds interfere with enzymes in your liver that are responsible for breaking down many common medications. What does this mean? If you drink orange juice or eat oranges while taking certain medications such as statins for cholesterol, calcium channel blockers for blood pressure, or blood thinners, your body may not process those drugs properly. Instead of breaking down smoothly, the drugs can build up in your system to dangerous levels, or in some cases, stop working altogether. That means a blood pressure pill you've taken safely for years could suddenly drop your pressure too low, or a cholesterol drug could accumulate and cause muscle pain, brain fog, or worse. Let's look at the story of Albert, a 79-year-old retired bus driver from Georgia. Every morning, he loved his ritual: breakfast with a tall glass of fresh, squeezed orange juice, taken alongside his heart and cholesterol medications. To him, it felt like the perfect combination of health and routine. But over time, Albert started noticing dizziness when standing, occasional confusion, and one morning, he collapsed while getting out of his chair. At the hospital, doctors found he had suffered a mild ischemic stroke. Blood tests showed dangerously elevated levels of his medications, even though he was taking the correct dosage. The culprit? Citrus compounds had slowed his liver's ability to metabolize the drugs. The takeaway is simple but important. Oranges and orange juice are not forbidden, but seniors on prescription medications must be cautious. Don't drink orange juice at the same time as your pills. If you love citrus flavor, consider a splash of lemon or lime in water instead. It has far fewer interactions. Most importantly, always talk to your doctor about how fruit may interact with your medications. Because sometimes, what looks like sunshine in a glass may quietly tip the balance inside your body. Mango is one of those fruits that feels like a tropical reward: soft, juicy, and naturally sweet. It's hard to imagine that something so delicious could be dangerous. But for older adults, especially those over 60 taking medications for the heart, blood pressure, or cholesterol, mango may carry hidden risks that deserve serious attention. Here's why. Mango is among the highest sugar fruits on grocery shelves. Just 1 cup of ripe mango contains nearly 45 grams of natural sugar, more than what you'd find in a donut. For younger people, the body's insulin system can handle the sugar surge. But after 60, insulin sensitivity is weaker. Blood vessels are more fragile, and the body processes sugar more slowly. That big spike can trigger inflammation inside artery walls, creating tiny cracks. And when the body senses a crack, it tries to patch it with a clot. In an aging circulatory system, that clot can block blood flow to the brain and cause a stroke. But the risk doesn't stop at sugar. Mango also contains a compound called mangiferin, which interferes with the liver's cytochrome P450 enzyme system. This system helps break down many common medications, statins, blood pressure drugs, and heart rhythm medications. If mangiferin slows this process, drugs can accumulate in the body to dangerous levels or stop working as intended. Let's consider the case of William, an 83-year-old retired firefighter from Nevada. Wanting to eat healthier, he replaced cookies with dried mango slices every afternoon. He was also on medication for atrial fibrillation and high blood pressure. Within weeks, William began waking up lightheaded, and one morning he collapsed beside his bed. At the hospital, scans revealed a mild ischemic stroke. Blood tests showed abnormally high levels of his medications, even though he hadn't changed his doses. Doctors concluded that his daily mango habit, particularly dried mango with concentrated sugar and mangiferin, had quietly overloaded his system. So what's the takeaway? Mango isn't off limits, but it must be eaten wisely. Stick to a few fresh slices only during the day and never before bed. Avoid dried mango, which concentrates sugar even more. And if you're taking heart or blood pressure medications, always check with your doctor first. That way, you can enjoy the sweetness of mango without putting your brain and heart at unnecessary risk. Up to this point, we've talked about 6 common fruits and the hidden risks they may carry. But here's something many seniors overlook. It's not just what you eat, but also when you eat it. The timing of fruit can make the difference between supporting your health and quietly increasing your stroke risk. During the day, your body is active, your muscles are moving, your metabolism is higher, and your circulatory system is working harder. Eating fruit earlier in the day gives your body time to use that natural sugar for energy, while your kidneys and liver are more efficient at managing potassium, acids, and medication breakdown. That means fruit is far less risky when enjoyed in the morning or afternoon. But at night, the story changes. After dinner, your body slows down. Your metabolism drops, circulation eases, and blood pressure naturally dips while you sleep. Eating fruit late in the evening, especially sugary or acidic ones, floods the bloodstream with sugar and stresses fragile blood vessels at a time when your system is least prepared to handle it. That combination can raise your risk of overnight spikes, silent reflux, or even blood clots. Let me share a simple example. One of my patients, a 72-year-old gentleman from Florida, loved his nightly ritual of a fruit plate before bed: pineapple, grapes, and sometimes watermelon. He believed it was healthier than cookies or ice cream. Yet he often woke up groggy, lightheaded, or with a dry mouth. When he adjusted his habit, moving the fruit to lunchtime and swapping his bedtime snack for a small handful of nuts, his morning energy improved, his dizziness disappeared, and his lab results showed more stable blood sugar and blood pressure. The takeaway is straightforward. Fruit is not the enemy, but timing is everything. If you want to enjoy fruit safely after 60, follow these guidelines. Eat fruit earlier in the day, not late at night. Always pair fruit with protein or healthy fat to slow sugar absorption. Stay hydrated, especially in the morning, to protect circulation. Remember, health isn't only about food choices, it's also about timing. A small shift in when you eat fruit can help protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. We've now uncovered the surprising truth about 6 everyday fruits: bananas, grapes, pineapples, watermelon, oranges, and mangoes, and the hidden risks they may carry for seniors. We also added a bonus tip on timing, because when you eat fruit can be just as important as which fruit you choose. So, What's the big takeaway? Fruit is not the enemy. In fact, it can still play a valuable role in keeping you nourished, energized, and strong. But after 60, your body changes. The same fruits that once boosted your health may now quietly work against you if eaten in the wrong way. Slower kidneys, stiffer arteries, changing metabolism, and common medications all shift the way your body responds. That means it's time to eat smarter, not just healthier. Think about it this way: small choices add up. A banana that's a little greener. A handful of grapes instead of a bowl. Pineapple earlier in the day instead of after dinner. Watermelon with electrolytes, not at bedtime. Skipping orange juice with your pills. A few slices of mango, not dried mango by the bag. And above all, choosing to enjoy fruit during the day rather than late at night. These adjustments may seem small, but they can make a big difference in protecting your brain, your heart, and your independence. And here's the good news: you don't have to give up fruit. You simply need to respect the balance between sweetness and safety. With mindful habits, you can continue to enjoy the foods you love while reducing the risks you fear. If this video helped you see your daily choices in a new light, I encourage you to take action today. Start with one simple change and notice how your body responds. And don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it with friends, loved ones, or anyone over 60 who might benefit. Finally, if you found value here, please subscribe to Thrive After 65 and leave a comment below with the word aware. That single word tells us you are ready to take control of your health, protect your future, and keep living life with strength and confidence.